Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is so amazing to be here with you today on this beautiful, beautiful morning here in California. I hope that it is equally, if not more beautiful where you are. The sun is shining bright here. The sky is blue. The trees are very filled with leaves. The birds are chirping. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. So I hope that it is equally, if not more, beautiful where you are. Thank you for being with us. Today, we're going to be talking about how to live, how to work, and how to thrive in our world. That's our subject for today. Welcome to Success Through Meditation. I'm Shakti, coming to you from a lineage of enlightenment to help you to see, honor, and love the light within yourself so that you can see, honor, and love the light within others. I know that it seems like it would be a no-brainer how to really be happy in our world. Sometimes it seems that it goes without saying that you do this, 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 and this, and you'll be happy. You'll know how to thrive in this very chaotic, busy, sometimes violent world. It seems that it can be tricky, doesn't it? And you know, traditionally, people who wanted to learn to master the art of meditation many times would renounce society. They went into places of solitude, right? I recommend that you do this for 15 minutes every morning. Just go into a place of solitude, right? So they would renounce the world and they would go into places of solitude to meditate, to pray, to fast, and to gain a sense of community. They built they built monasteries, convents, ashrams, in which they could all live together with hopefully an enlightened soul, where students and teachers could live and associate, or actually it was students and teacher could live and associate together without having to deal with the world, especially as it is today. Back then, when they were building these monasteries and ashrams and convents, life was not quite the way it is today. It is becoming more and more chaotic, more and more violent, more and more busy, right? But on the other hand, from what I am seeing, it is also becoming more and more enlightened with people like you. That's why we have to stay the course. We have to stay the course together as we live and work in the world. So the reason that they would do this, the reason that they'd separate themselves from society is pretty obvious, isn't it? Most people in the world are not interested in spiritual and mental development. It is becoming more and more so, which is beautiful. And you'll find that you will attract those people the more that you follow this path, the path of learning, growing, personal development, spiritual development. You will find that you will attract more and more of those people. But unfortunately, humans in this world are still going to war. They're still suppressing. They're still into domination, manipulation, and control. They're still into limiting others for the sake of their own joy, happiness, fulfillment, advancement. And if you've meditated for any amount of time, you begin to feel like you're in the wrong world, on the wrong planet. Because as you look at the world through the eyes of love, joy, and beauty, then you enter the work world, the environment filled with competitive business, freeways, wars, power-hungry groups, ethnic challenges, and fighting political systems. The world humans have created, it's not so appealing sometimes, is it? Our world is so filled with beauty, It is so filled with beauty, beauty that the human race is working very, very hard to destroy. Our dwindling forests, polluted rivers, polluted oceans, the ozone layer, all of these things that humans are doing. What a strange species we are, destroying the resources that sustain humanity. Yet, what we also see is that humans are incredibly beautiful. Recently, I was sitting on the ocean, on the boardwalk, and watching people go by. And in awe, marveling at the beauty of humanity. Humans are filled with beautiful, beautiful energy. They're doing their best. No matter what they're doing their best. The best that they possibly can. When we feel that humanity, all of humanity, our family, we then can adapt an attitude of tolerance and admiration, actually, as I did on the beach that day. So at this point in time, we live absolutely in a global community, don't we? A media jungle that makes it extremely difficult to let or to get away from or avoid humanity in general. Tolerance becomes the operative, the necessary MO. It is absolutely necessary for us to move forward as a species. Tolerance. As we see that the consciousness of most of humanity is focused on the world of sensations, of the senses, of what we feel, see, think. Pleasure, pain, hearing the bad things that happen to others. This is how the world is right now. You can't think badly of a second grader or a third grader, these mentalities, these second and third grade mentalities in the world. So you must be tolerant. Tolerance is a necessity. To live and work in the world is a choice. To live and work in the world with tolerance, beauty, love, happiness is a choice. You could, of course, go off into the woods, live with a community if you like, but you'll not avoid the energies of the billions of humans on the planet. You are affected by these energies. Very few places to go where you won't be affected. And if you want to be of service to humanity, well, maybe you need to go up high into the Himalayas, but without, if you want to be of service, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to go off into a cave in the Himalayas and meditate if you want to be of service. So how do you help others? How do you do that? Of course, in whatever way that you can. You can be kind, be generous. However, also don't be foolish. Be detached. Don't attach yourself to any idea that you have about an outcome, right? Be detached. And be detached from the people that you help. In other words, if you give love, if you give help, if you are of service to someone, don't be attached to how it is that they're going to use your help. It is all about your intention. What you intend to do, how you intend to love, that matters. When you give money to a person on the street holding their hands out, you don't worry about what it is that they're going to do with the money. That is not the point of you giving. The point of you giving is you giving. That is the point of your blessing another person, another being. What they do with what you give them is irrelevant. It's your giving of yourself, of your love, of your time that matters. Now, if they want more from you than you've given, let them go. You must let them go, and you must be detached to maintain your own integrity within. The idea is that you're constantly improving your life. That is the idea, so that you can serve more. So you've been successful before in different areas of your life, and now maybe you want to do something different. You want to do something new. And maybe you'd like to serve others. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. Money is an important part of service, isn't it? You can have the greatest intentions in the world, but without money to fuel your work, your service to others is next to impossible. It's next to impossible in this modern world. Money is important. If you use it properly, money allows you to do a lot of things in this world, a lot of good, doesn't it? We know how money has been abused in this world. We now also have many examples of how it's been put to good use. We can see it. You can look at any of the benevolent billionaires, millionaires in our world. You can see that there is good being done with money. Many examples of how it's been put to good use. Because money in and of itself is neither good nor bad. Only there is no good or bad anyway. Only thinking makes it so, doesn't it? So be neither attracted nor repulsed when you're looking at serving. Think of all the ways in this world that you can make money. Make a lot of it. Serve humanity. Because if you really love humanity, you want to do something for humanity, don't you? And if you want to do something for humanity to really help, you need money without any attachment to it. This is important. And if you're truly dedicated or concerned with the welfare of others, make as much money as you can. Because you can live as nicely, of course, with having as much money as you possibly can, you can live as nicely as you'd like, then take the rest and give it. Give it because you have a passion for, or a spiritual cause that can benefit others. I've said this many times, but putting your money into Dharma, into the work of the Dharma, into good, there is nothing higher that you can do with your money. Serving the Dharma, serving light, serving our world, humanity, all sentient beings, there is nothing higher that you can do with your money. Because what happens when you serve with the extra money that you have? It comes back 100-fold. That's how it works when you serve humanity with your money. Use your money for a spiritual cause that you know will benefit others. That is selfless giving. There's nothing that hurts personal development more than being poor. If you're always concerned with paying the bills, if you're not living in a nice place, then it's a living hell, isn't it? For anyone who has ever been without money, you realize that living on this planet without money is a living hell. And you can't meditate well if you're concerned about, or your thoughts are always about how to pay the rent, how to eat. If your thoughts are always wrapped up in money. You know, I've always said that I see money as I see, keeping a fit body or getting a good haircut, right? It's something I don't want to have to think about. So you get a good haircut because you don't want to have to think about it. You keep your body in good shape, good health, eating as well as you possibly can, exercising, so that you don't have to think about being healthy. Having enough money is the same. Have an overabundance of money so that you don't have to think about it and you can serve humanity. You can meditate well. And of course, you do serve humanity by meditating well. That's another bonus, right? So make as much money as you possibly can with a career that you love. Money buys you space. It buys you protection. When you're out in the world, when you're living and working in the world, it's always, of course, best to know how to adopt a certain attitude also. Read How to Win Friends and Influence People. It is a book that any entrepreneur, any business person has read. It was written many, many years ago, but it serves today in a beautiful way. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Carnegie. It helps you to know how to deal with people in the business world, how to deal with people in your personal world, how to win friends and influence people. Do your best always. Do your impeccable best always, but don't feel like you have to fit in. Be pleasant, of course, be pleasant. That's enough. But blend. Do blend. When you don't blend, you draw attention. And it could be negative attention. And that's never good. So you do want to blend. Be conscious of danger. So living and working in the world has many aspects, doesn't it? Many facets to the diamond. Be conscious of danger. Be aware. Be concerned with security. Don't be paranoid. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying to be paranoid in any way, shape, or form, but use your heightened consciousness, the consciousness and awareness that you gather, that you learn to have with meditation, to know how to proceed, how to go, where not to go, where to go and where not to go. Be aware. Maybe take martial arts. This is an exercise in awareness in and of itself, martial arts. Take a course. Always be aware of your surroundings. Never assume people around you are like you. Be aware. Use your meditations. Use your meditative awareness to know what's around you always, particularly in society, when you're in and amongst people. And also participate in society. Don't be a hermit, right? Especially if you want to serve humanity. Participate. Just don't get caught up in it. Make money a non-issue. Right? Make money a non-issue, like your health or a good haircut. Make it a non-issue. Have fun. Have fun with life and enjoy this world. It's beautiful. It is an incredibly beautiful world filled with beautiful humans. Attract those, but be aware. Always be aware of your surroundings. And of course, do reserve time for solitude. Reserve your time for solitude, for meditation. Learn to meditate well. For those of you who may be new to the practice of meditation, every day when you wake up, we sit for 15 minutes. Wash your hands and face, take a shower, but at least wash your hands and face, and sit in clean, loose clothing in an uncluttered environment, hopefully in a space where only you sit. You may want to sit on the floor on a pillow with your legs crossed, or in a chair with your feet planted on the ground. Either way, your hands are resting very comfortably in your lap. And we sit for 15 minutes. We use music with our meditations. Our music is infused with enlightened energy. It helps you to meditate. It was produced, it was composed with your meditations in mind. So you can focus on every note in the meditation, in the music, to help you to raise your consciousness, to clear your mind, to calm your mind. Right? So we sit for 15 minutes. And when you're learning to meditate, the idea is learning to focus. Focus, focus, focus. That's meditation in the beginning for the first several years of your meditation practice. You're learning to focus. In business, There can be no greater asset than the ability to focus, whether it's on your creative self, whether it's on your communicative self, whether it's your empowered self. Being able to focus is of paramount importance when you're learning, when you're going into a new business or you have one that's already established, right? Focus. So we're learning to focus. You sit for 15 minutes, your eyes open, your eyes closed, depending on what you're using. We have mantras here that are available in our membership site, but we use the mantra to be able to help you to calm the mind. You can look at the very center of the yantra. It's an ancient geometric design. You gaze upon the center, not stare. With relaxed eyes, you gaze at the center of the yantra, and it will help your mind to calm down. So we sit for 15 minutes, and at the very end, your back is straight, your tummy is empty, you are awake. Very important. There are many modalities in the practice of meditation. They all work. The idea is for you to choose one that best suits you. What I teach is the practice of being very alert in your meditation. You're going through a process of empowerment when you meditate. So you're gathering energy. This energy, when your back is nice and straight, is able to flow freely within and without your body. So we're learning to gather energy and power so that you can then serve, right? You can't serve, you can't do much without much power and energy, can you? Just like money. So we sit up nice and straight. And at the very end of the meditation, we bow. We say thank you. We offer up our meditation to the universe, to our world, and say thank you. So that's meditation. After you've been meditating for a few years, the idea is to learn to stop thought. Learning to stop thought is really not so complicated. First, we learn to focus. Then we learn to observe our thoughts and we allow them to go. You will think, especially in the beginning, you will have a lot of thinking, a lot of thoughts that come and go. Let them go. Like a flock of birds in the sky. We simply watch them go by. And then over the years, you begin to see that there are spaces between the thoughts, empty spaces of silence between your thinking, between each and every thought. And we learn to increase those spaces so that over time, you learn to completely stop thought. It is in the silence of meditation that you increase your power. There is no more powerful a thing that you can do with your mind than to learn to stop thought. But be patient with yourself. Never judge your meditation practice. Never judge your meditation. Never judge yourself. Empower yourself with empowering thoughts. And so we're learning to focus on something higher in our meditations. In every meditation, we may be focusing on a flower, a candle flame. Where you sit, you may have a table in your meditation practice at home, maybe just a small corner of your bedroom. And you have a table and you may have a flower, a candle flame, a picture of a deity, a yantra. Right? We do also use mantra. Mantra can be a group of Sanskrit words. It can also be one Sanskrit word that you chant to help you to calm the mind once again. But you're learning to have a good time. You're learning to empower yourself. You're learning to have more energy with your meditation practice. That's the idea. So as we prepare to meditate today, I'm going to take myself off camera. Please go ahead and sit up nice and straight. We'll begin to relax the body. Take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and hold for the count of 3 at the top. Focus on your eyes, the muscles around your eyes, and relax the muscles around your eyes. As you do, your jaw muscles, your facial muscles will also begin to relax. If you have any tension whatsoever in your scalp, relax your scalp. Relax your neck, your shoulders. Relax your upper arms, your lower arms. Relax your hands and your fingers. Relax your back. As you are sitting up nice and straight, relax your back on either side of your spinal column. Relax your abdomen. Release all of the muscles in your abdomen. Relax your hips, your upper legs, your lower legs. Relax your feet and your toes. Relax, relax, relax. Take another deep cleansing breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And hold for the count of 3 at the top. Practice this technique whenever you're feeling tension entering into you from the outside. This exercise can be practiced while seated or as part of your mindfulness, while you work, talk with others, or engage in any activity. This exercise in particular is effective when you need to stop tension, frustration, or panic immediately. Focus your attention on the center of your stomach, in the area of your navel. Feel that this is an area of tremendous strength. Visualize a sphere, a dome of red energy surrounding your entire body, which is supported by your own willpower. Positive thoughts, feelings, ideas, and vibrations can pass through this sphere and reach you. Only the positive ones. But as long as you visualize this sphere of red energy surrounding you, negative thoughts, hostilities, anger, and aggressive feelings of other persons and situations cannot enter you. While you are visualizing this sphere of red energy surrounding you, feel that you are consciously directing energy from the center of your body in the area of your navel throughout the sphere. You are empowering this sphere from your center. Feel that the energy of your willpower can easily deflect tension and tension-causing feelings, frustrations that are directed toward you from the outside world. You will find that with repeated practice, it becomes easier and easier to visualize this sphere of red energy, and that you'll be able to stop the negative energy of others from entering into you. For those of you who may be new to the practice of meditation, continue visualizing this sphere of red energy, this red dome of light surrounding you, being empowered from your center, from your navel center, the third chakra, until our meditation session has ended. For those of you who may have been meditating, who have been practicing meditation for a few years or longer, continue to visualizing this red dome of energy, this protective dome of energy, empowered by your power center, your navel center, into the first few moments of our meditation music, and then let go. Let go and let eternity do with you what it will. Now, let's meditate. Namaste. Learn to enjoy your life, and part of this, most of this, maybe all of this happiness that you're supposed to be enjoying can be done as you learn to practice meditation, as you learn to dissolve into the silence of light, of bliss, of nirvana, as you learn to do better, to be more impeccable with your life, with your work. Living and working in the world can be fun. But before we go, 10 things to do. First, well, actually it's 11. I added one. Love yourselves. Learn to love yourselves. Work on learning to love yourselves. And we can talk more about that in the Facebook group, but it is possible. It is doable. Most people are not taught how to love themselves from birth. I know one, and she taught her daughter, of course. So one, in all of the people that I know, one person who was raised to love herself. What a beautiful thing. So number plus one is love yourself. Number one is love someone else or something else more than you love yourselves. Number two, take chances constantly. Number three, stop taking yourselves so seriously. And number four, start taking others more seriously. Number five, never, 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 ever, ever give up hope. Never give up hope. Number six, meditate more deeply today than you ever have. Number seven, learn to dance. Number eight, feel the pain of the world and be happy anyway. Number nine, let go and let eternity do with you what it will. Number 10, look beyond all of this and know the truth. Thank you so much for being here to lift not only your world, but our world, to raise the consciousness of our planet. Thank you. Namaste. The light in me sees, honors, and so loves the light in you. I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks.